Surely you've heard from your mother, grandmother, or even someone you know that words have power, right? Be careful what you say you attract. This is usually taken by people in tons of mockery, discrediting this statement. But have you ever stopped and pondered the true meaning of words have power? In this video, we'll talk about Catherine Ponder, writer born in 1927 in Hartsville, South Carolina, USA. Catherine is responsible for writing several and studying depth the law of attraction and the power of words, and she portrays this in several titles such as The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, Open Your Mind to Prosperity, between others. In one of her works, Catherine states that one of the ways to mentally create prosperity is through prosperity words. And if you have the goal of prosperity in your life, both financially and as a person, you need to know that the words of prosperity bring prosperity. Expressing words of prosperity, you shape substance in the invisible world, giving form to it in the visible world. Catherine states that if you persist in talking and thinking about prosperity and success, there will be no forces in heaven or on earth that will stop you from succeeding. Therefore, it is of great importance if, for example, you need money, that you express words of prosperity, that you have so much that you will be able to have for yourself and to share. But do not forget, it is very important to be objective when expressing words, so as not to attract things that are not specific to your goal. So whenever you express words to attract prosperity, don't do it generally. To paraphrase Catherine Ponder, it is said that when prosperity is affirmed, results are accelerated by 80%, and I truly believe that. But you are still not convinced that words have power and that they can attract prosperity, are you? These stories were taken from Catherine's books and show us how words are capable of attracting prosperity. One man increased his income multiple times using the following statement: I now have a satisfactory, steady, secure, and permanent income. The following example is of an entrepreneur who made his income go from $12,000 to $25,000 in just 6 weeks by expressing the following words: money comes to me in ever-increasing amounts from diverse sources and continuous basis, and it stays with me to build my wealth. Another prosperity affirmation that has been unwrapping the paths to financial abundance for many people that you can also use is: I trust that the spirit of prosperity provides abundance for me at this time. Note that it is extremely important if you aim for specific results, express specific words, so as not to attract things that are not part of your objectives. But you still seem not convinced. That's why I invite you to practice affirmations like this to bring prosperity to your life. Just 5 minutes of your day, or 2% of it, for the doors of abundance to open your life. Don't get confused. By using prosperity affirmations, you're not asking God for anything. Prosperity already exists, is among us, and fully available to you. Affirmations just open your mind to receive all the abundant and generous amount of prosperity that already exists. And when you understand that you are able to achieve your goal, the doors of prosperity open for you. Maybe you still haven't achieved prosperity because you think your mind isn't ready for it. But this is a mistake. Just use these tips to get your mind in tune with the frequencies of prosperity. How many people go through or lose their lives struggling with the scarcity of money in their lives? None of these sufferings would be necessary if they opened their minds to prosperity. Catherine Ponder puts in her work a phrase that you can say that will release and remove all the obstacles that prevent you from being prosperous. Repeat with me: I, at this moment, release and remain free from everything and everyone that is no longer part of the divine plan for my life. Everything and everyone that is no longer part of the divine plan for my life sets me free in this moment. We all have a plan different from the normal plan for our lives, which includes health, success, wealth, and perfect expression. When you begin to understand them, the doors of prosperity will be open to you, and in every situation in your life, give thanks and express that the divine plan is working out the way it should be. And then you have fantastic results in your life. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've lived, or what you've stopped doing. At any point in your life, you can decide to open yourself up to the plan of prosperity. And that starts from a constant habit. As Catherine Ponder adds, every day, in every way, I'm growing more prosperous, successful, victorious. I'm made for peace, health, and abundance, and I'm now experiencing them in increasing degrees of good. Catherine, in her book, describes how she changed her life after applying the words of prosperity in her life. I am now experiencing perfect health, abundant and complete prosperity, and total happiness. This is true because the world is full of lovely people who now breastfeed and help me in every way. I am now joining an innumerable company of angels. I am now living a delightful, interesting, satisfying life of the most useful kind. Because of my own increased health, wealth, and happiness, I am now able to help others live a delightful, interesting, satisfying life of the most useful kind. My good, our good, it's universal. And it's true that we also want that for our lives, don't we? Why settle for so little in life when you can be so daring to be different in your thinking? This phrase by Catherine encourages us to seek more and more prosperity in our lives and to express words of prosperity which will bring us enormous results. Did you like today's video? Send it to that friend of yours who keeps complaining and melancholy about his life, where his expression are not of prosperity and don't bring good fruit to his life. Very important. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And to learn more about the law of attraction, choose your next video. See you there. Until later.